like just mid conversation.
Yeah. All right, we're starting.
Drink of libation.
Yeah. But
So this week's been crazy with all the wrestling stuff.
yeah, as which that's one thing. Like I was listening to Dave Meltzer yesterday, and they were talking about the Era Hawani Tony Khan thing, which I this is where I probably agree with you on your take on Era Hawani. He definitely instigated a lot of stuff that caused, like, the thing is, like, why would you even bring up CM Punk when you know that there's legal stuff going on? Like,
Yeah.
And then why kept probing him for that, but you didn't mention Vince McMahon to Triple H once?
Yep.
And I was like, well, and the thing is, like, well, who did that voiceover for the Fight Pit? Era Hawani. You know, it's like, okay, so who, and for Era Hawani to say, oh, this is the worst interview I've ever had, or the most frustrating, and then Meltzer was like, you know, he was like, I've had frustrating ones, but I don't talk about it. You know, you don't talk about stuff like that. I was like, you know, it was like my first interview with Tony Khan was frustrating, but everyone after that has been fine. You know, like you should know what you should know what you're able to ask and not able to ask, and that
Right.
those are questions that you weren't able to ask. And then, like, where everyone is like, you know, you can't say that WWE isn't the best product now. It's like, well, no, you can. Now you can't say WWE or AEW is doing better, but people can say AEW is better, and people can say WWE better. And it's like,
just an opinion.
And it was like, and Dave was like, you know, AEW still puts on better matches. Their wrestling is still better than WWE's wrestling. WWE's wrestling is better now than it was, but AEW, their TV matches are better than WWE's, and their pay-per-view matches are WWE. But that it's all an opinion. And I was like, yeah, I completely agree with that. But that's the thing, is like, the whole I don't understand the, it's almost like the Monday Night Wars, but like, even going to school, I don't remember anybody being like, oh, I'm only WWE, I don't watch WCW. Everybody I knew watched
both. Yeah.
And enjoyed both. I was like, but now it seems to be like, oh, you can't say AEW's better because they, and the thing is, like, the whole, like, oh, AEW, you know, they have all these issues going on, all these fights, and, you know, it's almost like WWE never had fights.
Right, never had background issues. Never had issue with the Ultimate Warrior,
or Chris Jericho or Goldberg,
or Bret Hart. I mean,
you never had fights. You know.
No. There's that. It's because society has turned into, are you team this or you team that? Are you team black? You team white? Are you team red? Team blue? I mean, it's politically. I mean, and then now, I mean, look, we play video games.
Yeah.
Are you Xbox or PlayStation, or now you're PC?
Yeah.
But which is weird, is like majority of those people have one of those, and they have a Nintendo Switch. And Nintendo's never brought into the situation.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, I'm only game Nintendo. No, you play PlayStation and Nintendo, or you play PC and then you have a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's the same thing with, like, oh, are you DC or are you Marvel? Are you AEW or WWE? I mean, you can be both. You can be all of it.
Well, that's the thing. Now, go ahead.
I was like, if you're just one, then you're just one. Yeah. If you only like watching WWE, you only like watching WWE, you don't want to watch it, that's fine. But you don't have to shit all over them.
Yeah. I was like, that's what I was like. I enjoy AEW more, but WWE has done things like that's interesting. But at the same time, the stuff that WWE is doing, and this is maybe just my opinion, but I know I've seen this stuff on Twitter and other things, but the big things that WWE has been doing lately is it's been returns.
Well, it's trying to bring well, they're getting the stuff back that was popular, and then getting away from the stuff that wasn't popular. It's like, okay, we're going to try to correct the mistakes that we made.
Yeah, but here's
this guy go, and this guy go, and this girl go, and this faction go.
Okay, so then where is the when are we gonna see people talking about how bloated the WWE roster is, like they do with AEW?
Oh, you'll probably never hear that.
Yeah, it's like, why not?
And it happens usually because you see that it's like you have somebody on TV like, okay, where they at? Where they at? Where they at? It's like, oh, we don't have anything for them. Like, what do you mean you don't have nothing for them?
Yeah.
Oh, we have too many people.
Yeah.
Or how many times have we talked when we're like really balls in? I was like, man, what? How?
Why isn't it? Yeah,
we haven't seen them in a couple of weeks. Oh, then they show up. It's like, okay, were they injured? Were they? Oh, they just have nothing for them. Why didn't they have no? Oh, we have too many people. That's why you have Raw and SmackDown and Monday night. I mean, Sunday night main event and Saturday night main event and NXT and ECW. I mean, look at their one time they had like 8 shows.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not counting. I'm just saying, just saying they have 8 shows. They had so many shows and all of them had different people on it.
Well, it's like that. That's the thing that's funny is like I would say the AEW haters joke around like, oh, so and so, like when like Athena debuted, like, oh, you know, she'll be on Wrestling on Dark or Elevation, and I was like, okay, who cares? Like, why is them wrestling on, even if yes, it's a YouTube show, but it's a YouTube show that gets hundreds of thousands of views. Mm-hmm. Like their rating, the views, you can almost count as ratings, are equal to like Rampage and NXT. So like, why is that a bad thing? That you're like, oh, because they're not on like network TV, like that. And even now, it's like the people are getting tired of seeing all the Ring of Honor people come, and it's like they're obviously building towards something. And then it's like, guaranteed Tony has probably told your Miros and stuff like that. It's like, listen, like we're trying to get a thing for Ring of Honor, you know, a TV deal for that. So we're gonna start. You're gonna be seeing these guys on TV more than you guys, so we can push that. But then once Ring of Honor TV happens, they're there. You know, it's like
they're there to build a fan base. Like you bring a guy out or a couple of people out, and you're like, okay, let's see how they do. Let's see who clicks, who the fans are starting to like, who they don't like.
Yeah.
Let's see how they are on TV. Okay, we're going to put them in you know, on a TV match. Let's see how they do. Okay, this one didn't do too well. This one did. All right, so that's when we can probably push a little bit or focus a little bit more on it. I mean, WCW did that back in the day. Remember when Thunder was just like the B show?
Yeah.
And it had 20 people in the audience.
You'd have it was like Fire and Ice and
but I mean, how Goldberg started was there. I mean, Nash come out. You go on there, you bring him, you fight somebody good. Okay, do the fans get behind him? Do that? Okay, then you throw him the Nitro. WWE did the same thing. They had Monday night. Saturday night main event.
No, like remember how long was SmackDown like not just the B show, but like the B show that had like their champion wasn't even like Jack Swagger was their champion.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that, like where it was like just like their ratings were horrible compared to Raw. Raw was getting your 3.5 million and SmackDown was like 1 something, and now it's you know the other way. But I don't know, it's just stuff like that where it's. But I mean, I do like, you know, I mean, I know it was like the week before, but Saraya, you know, being AEW, especially the fact like she's like debunked everything that people said. Like WWE didn't want to clear her. Like they didn't. It's not that they tested her and they didn't clear her. They didn't want to test her. She about that they wanted her to be just like a GM, so no part of them where she wanted, and it's like, we know she's only 30,
right?
You know, so she got 3 different like doctors that, you know, did all these tests and cleared her before she signed with AEW. So she was cleared before she signed. And it's like, okay, you know, and then the AEW cleared her too. So like, okay, so the rhetoric of, oh, AEW is gonna end up hurting, because I literally seen people online that were almost hoping she gets hurt because
to prove the point that WWE's right.
Yeah, but like WWE didn't do anything, so WWE wasn't right or wrong in this situation at all, because they didn't test her. It would be different if they tried testing her and she wasn't cleared. They didn't test her.
I said, and I would understand her frustration. Like, look, I'm 30 years old. I still have, a good 10 years, possibly 6 years on for as a woman. 6 years, but I have still time. This is my prime. Let me get in here. Let me try, test me. Let me get it out of the way. And if she does good, but I think a lot of that, some of that has to do with how popular she was.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're pushing Lacey Evans and Charlotte. And people who a lot of people don't like. They want Becky, they want Sasha, they want Bailey, they want Mandy Rose, they want these people. They like Liv, they like Alexa. They don't want Charlotte to win 14, 15 titles or win a title every other week.
Yeah. Oh, it was funny too, because it's just funny how quick people switch up, because now people are saying like, oh, like, Paige shouldn't have won the NXT title, should have been Emma, and then I've even seen yesterday where I know the person's trolling, but like it made its ways to where it got other people to kind of agree that Eva Marie is better than Sasha Banks. I was like, who? I was like, what was it? Sean Ross Sapp was like, and only thing Eva Marie is better at, or if you mean better by taller, then yes, because Eva Marie is taller than Sasha Banks. And now this kind of thing is like, that's the only thing that she's better at, is she's taller. But there's no way that Eva Marie as a wrestler was horrible. That's why she only wrestled like 2 matches.
Yeah, and that some of that is off of look. I mean, some of these people are fans because all they think they're more attracted, or they get hotter.
But no, I think it's because there's a strong chance that Sasha doesn't come back to WWE, because I don't know if you've seen that she changed her Twitter handle and her name back to her real name.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, so she may not be coming back.
I'm sure Triple H and Stephanie or somebody is like in the ear, hey, let's talk about this. What's wrong?
Yeah.
Let's go with this. And I saw, I think Naomi changed hers too, didn't she?
Yeah, she changed her, but I know they're actively negotiating with her, but I think the Sasha Banks stuff is, I think Sasha Banks just got fed up with how she was. Because it's like, she'll have a title, but it won't be like the other title will be
push more.
It'd be like, oh, Sasha's the champion, but show us Charlotte, so we're gonna show Charlotte more. Then like Sasha and Naomi get the tag titles, but we're not gonna have you guys defend it at all. It's stuff like that. That.
And I get the Charlotte is Ric Flair's we can really push that. It's like, well, push fucking Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Push the fact that she's Snoop Dogg. Bring her out with like rappers and other people. And Snoop's a big WWE fan. You guys had him wrestle in a match. I mean, push that. Make it to I'm a part of the celebrity. Make her into like the $1 Million Man type gimmick or something. If she would want to do that. I mean, there's opportunities for her to have that gimmick where she's got the background, she has the history, where she's a big time fan. Charlotte, you can do what you did with Charlotte, you can do it with her.
Yeah. But even as funny as like you're seeing the IC title more, you're seeing the United States title more, but like the women's tag title is still like they've been doing a lot of like singles matches or trios matches and not as many tag team matches since Dakota and them won the title. Like it's
I don't know, is that maybe because they're just trying to really figure like if they can get Sasha and Naomi back, or if they can get this person back, and then we're going to push like, okay, this is where we're going to go if we get these back. So we're going to kind of like lay low a minute for these characters.
I look at it's no different than their men's thing. I don't think WWE knows how to do tag team wrestling.
Which is crazy. The guys running it was multiple time tag team champion.
But because look at it as who are the Usos feuding with? Same as Zayn. Well, Jay's feuding with Same as Zayn. Yeah. Pretty much. But that's it. Usos aren't in a problem. I mean, yeah, everybody knows that it's going to lead to Sammy and Kevin Owens versus the Usos somewhere where they win, but like Usos aren't wrestling.
Well, name another tag team.
The Viking Raiders and New Day.
I mean, that's
Then you, I
pure
guess you like
tag team.
Alpha Academy. I know it's still a thing.
You're starting to have those, but you don't have
yeah,
tag
you don't have
team.
all. Yeah, that's why
you have guys like Sami Zayn.
Well, actually, no, not now. They have the Good Brothers are back.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
But even still, like it's cool to see them back, but at the same time, everybody hated them when they were there before. Like they're not fan favorites. Not in. I mean, if any of them, Carl Anderson's people like him, they don't like Gallows. I don't think they like Gallows ever, even when he was with CM Punk. I don't think.
Yeah, no.
It's always been, but Carl Anderson seems to be a likable guy, and not Gallows doesn't seem like a likable guy, but like Carl Anderson, like seems like he's more people that people like,
And see, it was crazy. It's like Luke is just so funny. Like when you watch like the WWE, like when they're doing the driving stuff, he's like hilarious. But you can't put that on TV because he's supposed to be a badass.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can maybe turn it into their characters that had in New Japan, really push that Bullet Club like gimmick with all them, then maybe the fans will look at him a little different. But I mean, I remember when they first showed up, I thought the look that they had when they first showed up, just with the black shirts, the jeans, I was like, okay,
yeah, this is New Japan. Gallows, but this one might be different, especially even little things like where Corey Graves called Carl Anderson a machine gun.
Yeah,
like they haven't done that before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, people in wrestling know he's a machine gun, Carl Anderson.
And some people just pick on the smallest little things, like that they don't like. Like maybe his outfit, they didn't like Luke Gallows' outfit.
Yeah,
I mean, because he wore that, and then your tag team partner wears something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really a tag team. Like Bubba Ray used to say, we were a tag team. If Devon wore glasses, I wore glasses. If Devon wore this color, I wore this color. We need to show us as a tag team.
Yeah.
And that's tag team wrestling. The Usos look like a tag team.
Well,
the New Day look like a tag team. They are wearing the same outfits and gimmicks.
I mean, it's a brand new tag team, but Wardlow, Samoa Joe and Wardlow, they wrestled Wednesday, and they were the same colors. Like, Samoa Joe did his black and red shorts he always wear, and Wardlow had black, his black singlet with red pinstripes. Yeah.
So it's just something that small.
Yeah.
Would change the whole dynamic of it, of a match, of a character.
But I'm interested in seeing, because I don't remember watching their matches in WWE, but like, did Carl Anderson do the stun gun?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if
he's done it, but it's not often.
Okay. But does he do it like he does in New Japan? Because to me, like, it's a lot different than him and Tama Tonga do that. Completely different than the RKO. Like they're like in the air more, and
Mm-hmm. But I think the safety here in a WWE, they're a little bit, because New Japan is, I mean, it's a shrunk style. I mean, you need to make it look as realistic as possible, these moves.
Yeah.
Even though they have the gimmick ones and the matches here and there. And WWE is more for like it is called World.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, if you just look too, is like where WWE gets their crowd or their ratings and stuff like that, is look at the crowd in WWE and compared to any other wrestling, it's like 60-70% kids.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at AEW, you have to kind of look to find a kid.
But even NXT.
Yeah, NXT, you have to look to find a kid. Impact, you have to look to find people, but you have to look to find a kid.
Yeah.
So there's stuff like that.
I think in WWE is more gimmick based. I mean,
yeah, it was the whole. They're still, even though people could say wrestling and pro wrestler and stuff like that, they're still sports entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're always going to be sports entertainment. And the thing is like, I don't see WWE. I mean, eventually, do I see like the ratings dipping? Yes, but it's not gonna. It's gonna take something really drastic for AEW to match their ratings, But the thing that people don't understand is AEW doesn't need that. Like if
people want the they want the Monday Night War.
Yeah.
They want the competition. AEW doesn't need that.
But no, but the thing is like people can't say that AEW isn't competition. They've been around that million view ratings their entire time of being on Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's something that TNA had moments where they had 1 million views, but it wasn't. I don't believe it was as long as consistent. And then their pay-per-views, like AEW's best pay-per-view or their worst pay-per-views dwarfs Impact's pay-per-view. Like their buys and stuff like that.
Well, no, I'm not talking about like a Monday Night War. They don't need to compete because they're doing something different than WWE's doing.
No, but they're
because I know people want them to. They want a Monday Night War between the two.
Oh yeah, where they're well they don't need to compete
that way.
Like they have. I mean, I know the big thing like this Tuesday is going to be interesting because Dynamite is on Tuesday because of NBA starts on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Or NBA is going to be on Wednesday, even though I think they start Tuesday, but NBA is going to be on Wednesday, so it'll be Dynamite versus NXT. Well, Dynamite's been getting better ratings, so who knows what's going to happen there? But even if NXT gets better ratings, well, people are used to them being on Tuesday, not Dynamite. Like it could happen.
Yeah, and also you'll see if WWE is watching.
Yeah.
If someone shows up or something happens big on that to really get people to talk.
Yeah.
If they purposely do something, oh, okay, you did that because of
is Halloween Havoc Tuesday or is that later?
I think it's later.
Okay, because if it would be no, they are doing something. They announced that there's gonna be like main roster people going to NXT on Tuesday. I forgot who they said was
someone someone else just showed up too on NXT.
Trying to remember who.
Yeah, I've seen.
Oh, I know like the Brawling Brute showed up. Like last week. I don't know who showed up this week. I didn't watch it this week.
Was it a female? Did a female show up to go against Mandy Rose? Was it Sonya Deville? That's right, Sonya. Sonya
showed up. Yeah, she attacked. No, she didn't. Not to. She attacked the Alba Fry or whatever. The one that was Kaylee Ray and NXT UK. She attacked her because she was attacking Mandy Rose.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Sonya showed up. So I mean, they're starting to move a little bit, but obviously that you'll see if WWE's really like watching.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure Triple H will pay attention. Vince, I said Vince never paid attention. Triple H paid attention because if not, he wouldn't be trying to grab people. Which I like that AEW is out there. I like that TNA is out there. I've said it before on like some of our other our reaction shows. I like that because it gives these wrestlers an opportunity to go somewhere else, fine tune their craft. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you're WWE, you wrestle a certain way. You go to TNA. Oh, you might do something different. You might work with somebody. You might get backstage with a veteran that tells you, hey, why don't you do this? You go to AEW, working with Chris Jericho, who has been around since the 90s, and you work with Moxley, who's been towards the top, and you have an ear of a CM Punk or something. It's like, hey, I know you're doing this. You should try that. I'm sure these guys are back there watching it and picking it. Like, hey, you have something. This is something you used to see you hear about Terry Funk and Dusty Rhodes talking about. They would see somebody and then pull them in the back and like, hey, kid, if you do this, you should do this.
Yeah.
Which I want that. I want all that because I'm glad that WWE isn't trying to buy everybody.
But they interesting. Like Shawn Michaels even came out and said that they'll get anybody from any any company that they want. Like
which is good.
It's good, but the thing is they don't have any issues with tampering.
Which I do have an issue with. You shouldn't tamper, but not like the back in the day. Like years ago, you would never see AJ Styles in WWE. They would say, AJ and Samoa Joe would never go. That's not a Vince McMahon. Now, because it's open, now you're going to see people that we wouldn't normally see in a WWE room. which is good for the fans and good for those wrestlers. Now you're like, oh damn, I actually have a chance to be in a WWE ring.
Yeah. But the thing I don't, which I mean, that you're going to see big names from AEW going to WWE. Like could we see Kenny Omega go there next year when his contract is up? Yes. Like, could anybody leave that's going to like destroy AEW? No. So you can have Kenny, the Young Bucks, Wardlow. They're going to
Jericho could go back. I mean,
no, they're going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you're still going to have your Jungle Boys and people that are expecting, you know, as they get older, and the Jungle Boy is getting more muscle now, and he's going to get bigger. So, like, you know, is he going to look like John Morrison? No. You know, he's going to, but he's going to get bigger. You know, he's already like, it's like 190 pounds where he was like 160 before or something. So he's definitely getting it. So, like, to me, nothing's going to happen to put AEW out of business. Things that may change they may end up being on a different channel, but they're going to.
I mean, how many times did WWE change channels?
Yeah, you know,
so that's not really a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I don't know if you know who Brandon Thurston is.
Yeah,
but like where he did like the projections of the WWE's next TV deal and AEW's next TV deal is like, yeah, WWE's gonna like trump them by a mile, but if AEW does get what he's estimating, which is like that 150 to 170 million per year, like that's game changer for AEW.
Oh yeah,
like even if they got 100 million, that's game changer. So like even if it's getting double, but everybody's expecting them to get 3 or 4 times what they got now, because it's almost like Warner and Discovery, they're making out big by only giving them 50 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
So you double or triple that, then even if you double it, then AEW is profiting a lot. Because I know Tony said that they made $100 million this year already. So yeah, WWE is making $1 billion, but
that's the start. You work your way up. You build your business model. You have that money. Now I can sign a couple other people.
Yeah,
I get change, you know, infrastructure a little bit. I can production value can go up.
Yeah,
maybe we do just a little bit more vignettes, or we can maybe get a second show or a third show on like a main channel or something. I mean, the possibility is there, and that's what we want as wrestling fans. And you want that to
go. You have the streaming thing, the Ring of Honor library, you know, the Ring of Honor show. You have where I know, I think I want to say it was Warner, and then we're talking to AEW about possibly having 2 more pay-per-views. So instead of once every 3 months, it'll be once every other month.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
which that's amazing for AEW, because that's more money for the talent, the roster.
Yeah,
because that's the thing is you want all these wrestlers to be paid. You want them to get money, because you don't want them to all of a sudden just go start wrestling the bingo halls again.
Yeah, I think too is the extra money will probably be a better incentive for Tony Khan to try to book larger arenas. Like, I know, which I understand but don't understand in a sense, but like WWE has a stranglehold on a lot of arenas, like where they won't allow
blackball. Yeah.
But
if you let someone show up, we're not going to
but like
perform there.
There's still other arenas that, you know, they could start doing, you know, okay, let's book a couple 25,000 seat arenas and see how that works. Then you know, let's then keep building it up to where maybe in 5 years from now they're doing a 50,000 seat, you know,
super show,
or even just like a double or nothing, you know, to where maybe all their pay-per-views are in 25,000-30,000 plus seat arenas. Because even the thing is, like, they're doing your 10 to 15,000 now, but they're making over $1 million in tickets, like in the gates. And then you figure with all the others, they said, like, if you count pay-per-view buys and all the stuff, they're every pay per view AEW is making like $15 to $20 million. If you really just look at the math, it's like, okay, well, you double the attendance.
It's more.
Yeah, they're gonna get an extra couple $1,000,000. Which is just gonna.
Then you're going to put merchandise out there too, more T-shirts that people can buy, and championship titles because now like the belts, like I'm collecting belts, people are buying belts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they just change their design, so now people want that new design.
Yeah, well, like their TBS title changes whenever they have a new champion. So yeah, I like that idea. And the TBS title does the same thing. Jade has, her green around it. So, whenever she loses, we'll see what, Athena has it, maybe purple or something, but like they do things, but like overall, I don't expect anything negative to happen. Like, even this press, like, the wrestling's still there, the storylines are there. Like, they're still doing. That's the one thing is like they do a lot of long-term storytelling, which I know WWE hired a guy who's close to Bray Wyatt, who was like he works somewhere with like Disney or something. So like he's hired as like director of long-term storytelling. So like WWE is gonna start doing that too. Which I mean they're kind of doing with the same Zayn thing, but AEW does that with a lot of people. Even now, Shawn Spears being back with the Pinnacle, that's something where, I thought that was cool. Even him calling himself the Perfect 10 and doing the stuff, and like the crowd love. I mean, obviously it was in Canada, but like, is he someone that's going to be a champion? No, but he's popular. Even as a good guy here, but now like even him, looking at Wardlow in the ring and like them embracing and stuff, like, they do need to have that promo where like he mentioned that, like he realized that MJF was a problem, not Wardlow and FTR and stuff like that, and the Pinnacle is for life, but then there's so many other stuff that's like been long, like the Orange Cassidy beating Pac. Well, Orange Cassidy's first match ever was against Pac, where like that's when people got to see, okay, Orange Cassidy isn't just like his gimmick isn't just putting hands in his pockets and being like he actually can do stuff. There are things that they're doing consistently that I don't like, which is like Swerve, Daniel Garcia and Jamie Hayter are all in this thing where it looks like they're turning bad or they're turning good, and then they end up switching back and staying the same way, but everybody expects, okay, they're going to eventually turn. Kind of like Wardlow, so far it's the first one to really kind of do that, and then Sonny Kiss, turn bad. But like, my expectation is Daniel Garcia is going to end up challenging Jericho for the title, probably winning that, and then Jamie Hayter's going to end up turning on, or Britt's going to turn on Jamie, or Jamie's going to turn on Britt, and Jamie's going to be the good guy, because like I don't know if you, I know you don't really watch like Dynamite all the time, but like I know you see clips every now and then, but like you probably won't see this, but there was a tag match of Tony Storm and Hikaru Shida versus Britt and Jamie Hayter. Jamie had the biggest pop by far. Like it wasn't even close. And like just more and more every week, Jamie's getting more and more popular. So that I expect to happen. And then this last night, Keith Lee was telling Swerve where you're supposed to kind of represent me too, and like cheating, we shouldn't have to cheat to win, and he was like, you're starting to swerve in your own lane, and then kind of left. So it kind of then the thing is like, okay, well they're bringing that friction back because the expectation is Swerve is gonna become heel because that's what he's naturally amazing at, is being a heel. So like, but they have this thing where they've it looked like they were turning heel or turning good, but then they're back to, oh, we're best friends and everything's great. But
it's just taking forever to do the turn.
Yeah, but it's like they need to just let the person turn and let it be,
Yeah.
But that's kind of my thoughts on that.
I mean, it's an interesting time in wrestling. I think it was going downhill a little bit for some reason.
Yeah.
And then it's going up and down now. Right now, it looks like all of them are starting to go up. I mean, I'm hearing some good things in Impact.
Yeah,
I'm hearing good things in Ring of Honor. New Japan has got some good things.
To me, New Japan has never been bad, really.
Right.
That's they have to look at it like Tama Tonga going against Jay White for the title, and then even before that, Hikuleo turning on Jay White and going back with Tama Tonga, and so it's like we're the whole Bullet Club and ex Bullet Club members and stuff is still kind of then Okada coming out after Jay White beat Tama Tonga, and it's like they're gonna wrestle again, probably at Wrestle Kingdom or something, and
So I would say right now it's just a good time to be a wrestling fan. There's a lot out there to be looking forward to.
Yeah, that's the thing is like it's be open, not just I only watch WWE or I only watch AEW or I only watch in Japan. It's like
You're missing out.
Yeah, I even went on like Reddit and stuff. I was like, okay, how do I watch all these things? And they're like, okay, MLW's on YouTube, NWA's on YouTube, New Japan, watch New Japan World, Stardom World or whatever.
You know Rick Rubin?
Yeah.
The producer.
Yeah.
So I was listening to him on a podcast, and he was saying that he watches 11 hours of wrestling on average a week.
Jeez.
Because he just loves wrestling. He's like, I get so much off of wrestling, and I just he's like, that's the only thing I watch. I just watch wrestling.
It's crazy.
It's about 11 hours. I would watch more, but I don't have the time right now to do it.
I mean,
I was like, damn, that's a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, you figure that's probably Raw, SmackDown, AEW, Impact,
7, Impact 8. That's 8 hours there.
Yeah.
Dynamite. Let's say Dynamite.
That's 10. Rampage is 11.
Yeah, there's your 11.
Yeah, but he could also be talking like take away commercials and stuff. That brings that down to like 6 or 7.
Right, you could throw in DVR, fast forward and do it. Then
you could throw in New Japan and NWA or NWA is hard to watch though. Like that
MLW, CCW. I mean,
GCW and AAA and all that stuff.
And I didn't know he started Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Really?
Yeah, that was his company. He started that with Jim Cornette.
Even Jim Cornette's like that dude's he just needs to stop talking about wrestling. Him, Vince Russo, and Eric Bischoff need to like they're.
Well, that's Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, and Shannon Sharp. That's basically them 3.
Yeah.
Clickbait, and even your boy Harold Hawani's has turned into.
I'll tell you, Harold Hawani was great like 7 years ago, but because like back then, when he was just doing MMA Hour, or even actually longer than that, it was like 10 years ago, back when Ronda Rousey was just getting into UFC. So like, and then Gina Carano was still fighting, and Dominique Cruz was Uriah Faber was active and stuff like that. Like he wasn't instigating as much, and he wasn't probing in and trying to get the clickbait. But he was actually, gave good interviews. You're able to like understand new people. Like even when he did Chris Weidman, after he beat Anderson Silva, like it kind of brought into where okay, I like Chris Weidman. He seemed like a good guy. It just his title reign didn't last. Oh, let me call him back. Sorry, that guys. But yeah, but like the title reign didn't last, but like he was good back then, but then like slowly as the years gone by, it's almost like, okay, maybe Dana White had a point. You know, like
when I used to listen to his show, his MMA Hour and stuff like that, I would start seeing things, and then I heard like Rampage Jackson.
Yeah, I know
he mentioned something. It's like, well, he's like, dude, all you do is instigate. You're just an instigator. All you do is instigate. Why you
the Diaz brothers? You know.
Yeah. And then Khabib even called him out on some stuff, and he's all like, "Trying, you blocked me on Twitter. How can we say no? You're I'm blocking you. You're Two Face."
Yeah. He has an agenda, you know.
Yeah. And then he got to ESPN, and all the shit with ESPN happened with that. Then he really turned in and said, "Oh, wait a minute. If I want views, I need to be like Stephen A. Smith and Skip." No, you don't need to be like that. Be yourself. People only give them the views because it's entertainment, and they're really, they don't even like Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless. They want to watch the cluster fuck that happens during them shows.
It's like, what crazy stuff are they gonna say? What dumb
like
stuff?
Shannon Sharpe smoking a cigarette and drinking, smoking his guitar and drinking, and just taking forever to make a point.
Yeah, that's. But yeah, I mean, but overall, I mean, yeah, I enjoy wrestling still. Like, not as much as we did in the past. Like, it's still there's moments like, even as much as like AEW, like I don't watch every match bell to bell. If there's it's one of those, like, if it's predictable who's gonna win, like, okay, like the Moxley and Claudio versus Butcher and the Blade, I was like, okay, it's literally just a way to put Moxley and Claudio on TV, and
well, I've seen people I've seen some comments before saying that sometimes they wish, not saying they should, but sometimes they would wish that wrestling would go back to where they had jobbers. So you would see like a Claudio out there just beat a bunch of jobbers, and then he's feuding with somebody, and then it's going to build up to the pay-per-view, but they never really wrestle each other, or they might wrestle on the tag team with somebody good, and something happens. Then like, but the TV channels, the TV stations wanted, like, oh, you need to have Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior fight on Raw. You need to have Stone Cold and Rock fight on. We don't want to wait 3 months for them to wrestle. We need it every day. Because we want that build up or that. So I know why they went away from that. And then if you have all that roster, you need to put them on the lane. But earlier you were talking about how WWE that doesn't have that roster problem. Remember when WCW had all those NWO members?
Oh God, when it was like 40 people, whatever.
And they would never wrestle. They would all just be in the ring. And it was okay. And then you're like, watch, it's like, when's the last time Big Boss Man's actually even wrestled a match? It's like, it's been about a month since he's actually wrestled.
Or whatever Brutus Beefcake's name was there. Like, I don't know if him, like
Renegade or something, and
something weird, but like, whenever, they had so many people that was.
I remember IRS. I mean, Erwin R. Shyster.
Michael
he just would come out and just him and Ted DiBiase just be there. It's like, you guys even going to wrestle? Conan went a while without ever wrestling.
Yeah, but that's where I would say, like, both AEW and WWE need to do better at displaying more people, because WWE is doing the same thing that people hate about AEW, is they're only showing the same people.
Right, you remember when Raven's Flock was around? There would be like the 6 or 7, and Perry Saturn might wrestle this week, and then Sick Boy might wrestle the week after.
Well, you're seeing all of them. Yeah,
but you're seeing them all on the New Day. That's how the New Day does it. You see all 3 members, and sometimes 2 of them might wrestle, or 1 of them might wrestle, but you see all 3.
Yeah, they need to. I mean, that's where, like, AEW has a lot of factions and stuff, and but I think it's just still, like, there's certain people that it's like, the thing, like, with, I mean, even some like Miro, like, he hasn't wrestled like in a while. Like, I don't even know if he wrestled at All Out. So, or maybe it was All Out. If it was All Out, that's still 6 weeks. Okay, like, what's Like, how can you not have something for him?
Right. Even if you have him, not something now, but let's say in the future, you want him and Keith Lee. Maybe Keith Lee's walking to the ring, and then Miro's just sitting on the side in the back, and all of a sudden, and they just look at each other and walk away. That you said it. You're setting something up in the future. Yeah. And something small like that, and then you maybe 2-3 weeks later you do it again, and then Keith Lee's walking by and you see Miro again, something in the background. Maybe they don't acknowledge each other that time.
Yeah.
But you see them there. It's like, okay, wait a minute. What are they trying to? What is AEW trying to tell us? Okay, and this is maybe going to be a future where Miro and Keith Lee's going to fight each other or something. There's ways that they can do it.
Yeah.
To grab someone who's they're not using at all.
I'm hoping my thing I said earlier about where they're kind of displaying the Ring of Honor people more because they're close to announcing a channel or something like. Or TV time thing, or I'm hoping that's the reason why we're not like almost like as soon as that happens, like they go away and you see your Miros and
Now are the wrestlers are they complaining about not being on TV?
That you're seeing? I know in the past, like before Miro came back in the summer, he had some moments where like he was liking or retweeting people talk about,
where's he at and all that.
Where's he at, or like even he liked one where I think they said like Miro was like shown better in AEW or in WWE or something like that. Obviously, Malachi asked for his release and got denied. I think Buddy asked for his release and got denied because
I was just wondering if people were complaining because I was going to go somewhere with that.
I don't think it's as
that they're not on TV.
Yeah, I don't think you're seeing that. Well, FTR complained about not having tag matches. Like they've been doing a lot of singles matches, but I mean the last like 2-3 weeks they've done nothing but having tag matches.
Well, which one good thing that if we don't see them for a little bit, they're home wrestling. They're getting healed up. Yeah. They're having vacation. Because one thing you hear about WWE is like strict.
Yeah, the work schedule. Yeah,
work schedule. Now at least, maybe the guys that are AEW, they're not on TV. That's maybe a good thing for them. That they actually can go film a movie or go film a TV show if they wanted to, or go do something, spend time with their family.
Yeah,
and then spending like 4 days on the road driving from here to there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's a good thing that you don't see them all. Maybe some of those guys are actually liking the break.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not complaining now, then it's
It's only. I just wonder if anybody was complaining. That's all.
Not that I've seen. I haven't seen anybody talk about people being frustrated. Like everything you hear is, the morale and backstage is even with the fights and stuff. The morale is positive. Like almost, it's better than it's ever been.
Which is good. That's what you'd like to hear.
Like
you always hear like an NFL or NBA or something. The locker room talk or that this person doesn't like that person.
Like Jericho said, it was like 98% positive. There's just that couple because you're always at, no matter where you are, you're gonna even now like I mean, yes, part of it's probably storyline, but the fact that Mustafa Ali is doing, I guess, a storyline where he's frustrated, like, okay, it's kind of playing off of how he was in real life, where he was frustrated after his release. But it was like, even someone like him, how do you not have something for him? Someone who really good at wrestling, is really good on the mic,
handsome. I mean, he's got a look.
Yeah, it's
he's
like
in shape.
That's the thing that they said is like him and Cedric Alexander matches they had on 205 Live or Main Event, whatever. That should have been on Raw, because like the back and forth they were having, the promos, the stuff that they were doing on Twitter, like where they basically were having promos on Twitter.
Yeah,
the stuff like that, like show those tweets on Raw. Like the thing but I think the main difference is both companies are trying to get ratings, but WWE's catering more for how do we get the biggest pop and bang for our buck, regardless of how much money we have to spend. AEW's seem to be more like who do people like, who can we put on TV, you know, and let's sprinkle in a couple people and see, do you like these guys? You know, are these even like the Kingdom? I don't know if you know who that is, but it's like Maria Kanellis. They debuted last night on Rampage.
Right, I saw the little clip,
and like no one cheered for them. Like they got like, as they call it, they got the Bobby Fish reaction when Bobby Fish showed up on Impact. Like no one cared. And the main thing is like, it said Mike Bennett isn't that good at wrestling. Matt Taven is what do they call it? A charisma vacuum. But Maria Kanellis is great. Like it's, if she just came out, I think people would have went crazy. But it was like, oh yes, oh wait a minute, you had to bring them two with you. It's like, you know, because she's, even though she would like, she's the only woman that has been in WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, AEW, and New Japan. Like no other female has done that. She's been in the wrestling business for like 18 years. You know, so it's like she's great on the mic. So like her being in AEW or Ring of, like that's great. I don't mind Matt Taven. Like I think he's a good wrestler. That's, I haven't heard him talk, but I guess he's not. You know, I know they joked. Apparently, like when he was Ring of Honor World Champion, like the owners or whatever were texting each other about like how bad he is as a champion. So he's like known as like one of the world's worst Ring of Honor champions because he isn't good on the mic. It's like, okay, well, now you have someone like Maria who can talk for him. You don't need him to talk. That's the thing, is like Goldberg sucked on the mic. Brock is okay on the mic
now.
Yeah, he used to not be okay. Yeah. You know, it's the thing.
Roman Reigns, same thing.
Ronda Rousey's still horrible on the mic, but like her, in a way, her being bad on the mic is just feeding more into how much people hate her. But it's good because she's a heel.
Yeah,
you know, hate her more. Okay, she can't talk, but she can kick all of their asses. You know, but yeah, it's just stuff like that. But I mean, I don't think I'll ever enjoy it as much as we did in the 96 to 2005 era. Like, you know, the you know, NWO debut forming, the Crow Sting and DX, and seeing The Rock and all, you know, him coming up, and you know, for you know, Stone Cold, and you know, all that, and you know, you know, Triple H and Shawn Michaels coming back,
and the whole ECW thing.
I mean, all that, RVD and Taz and Michael Whipwreck, and you know, Super Crazy, and
just
all that stuff. And you know, was it?
It's like do you go hire all those people that used to write for all that again and bring them back in and say, hey, we need to get back here because that's where the biggest ratings were? Or do you like,
when you know, they signed Gabe Sapolsky's back with WWE? Yeah. But the thing is, like, but AEW is getting smart too. You know, you have William Regal there, you know, brilliant mind. You have Taz, who knows the business there. You know, Tony Schiavone's respected. Jim Ross is respected. You know, the women's side, you have Madison Rayne now. You have Saraya. You have Maria now. Then you have the people that were in WWE before, you know, even like Renee, someone who is, you know, to me, that's a great pickup for them.
Right, because she knows the backstage stuff.
Yeah.
You know, she's on the on-air stuff, so she knows what, hey, this was what worked and this is what doesn't work.
Yeah.
Then you have like the wrestlers that have been there for a long time. Like, I mean, they have Jericho. I mean,
yeah.
I know some people don't like Jericho. But you have Jericho. You have Big Show. You have Mark Henry, guys who've been around.
Dustin Rhodes,
with some of the best people ever.
Sting,
Dustin,
Christian, Christian Cage is a legend. I mean, you have a lot of legends there. WWE. The thing is, like, I still, even kind of what we talked about in one of the last things. I still say, you know, WWE isn't we're slowly seeing Triple H's vision, and I know I said Royal Rumble before. Royal Rumble is going to start the thing, but I think the Raw after WrestleMania is going to be.
Well, yeah, you said that. I think one of the last times we did.
And I'm still thinking it's going to be. He's going to get all these people back. They're going to start being storylines, but then Raw after WrestleMania, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a whole new look. I know they talked about like belts changing, like the look. We could see like new debuts and new belts. Like there's gonna be a lot of, even if they wanted to, where they were gonna do a draft this month, have that be then. Raw after WrestleMania, draft. Do that to where Raw and SmackDown, there's drafts, and it's not just like 10 people that switch. It's complete overhauls of stuff.
Throw NXT in there where NXT's drafting people.
Yeah, NXT.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, NXT gets Roman Reigns, but no, like.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, you do something like that. All of a sudden, Seth Rollins going to NXT. Like,
yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. Especially if they want NXT to. It's like they want it to be developmental, but you can't really say that when you're okay signing these people. You have someone like that Roxanne Perez. She's not someone who needs development. She was a Ring of Honor world champion. She's young, but like she's already one of their best wrestlers for women.
There's a few that they went to NXT that just shouldn't really have had. Kevin Owens really didn't need to go. Nakamura really didn't need to go.
No, Samoa Joe didn't need to go. But the call downs like Mandy Rose going there was great for her. Because Mandy Rose went from bombshell goddess, whatever Corey Graves is saying, to okay, is she the best wrestler? No, but she pulls off her gimmick really well.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing where like the Sonya Deville's like, oh well, why is she helping her when they feuded last? And there's like, yeah, we had our differences, but we've always been best friends.
Yeah, like Triple H and Shawn Michaels never feuded. Yeah.
Oh, that was an amazing feud.
Yeah, that even after DX, I mean
yeah. So it's
brothers. I mean, you have brothers feuding with each other.
Yeah, Edge and Christian feuded. Matt and Jeff Hardy, Kane Undertaker.
But, I mean, it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, just stuff like that. But overall, I'll say like it's they're going to get better. AEW is going to get better especially when AEW gets Ring of Honor TV. Like the people that complain about, oh, there's too many titles on TV, is like Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor for a reason. He's not trying. Everyone's like, oh, Ring of Honor is just going to be a dead thing. It's like, I don't think anybody's expecting Ring of Honor whenever it comes back to get, even like Rampage numbers. Like, they're probably going to sign someone where, like, okay, maybe Impact numbers are better. But even like Impact makes $20 million a year.
But see, Ring of Honor has history.
Yeah.
That's the big difference.
And they're gonna have names. They're gonna have names that, Brian Cage is there. You have Gates of Agony, who's an up and coming thing there. You have the Kingdom there now.
Well, I'm just talking about with them having the history. Is that they have the library, which WWE remember WWE was going after trying to get everybody's library.
Yeah.
Now the Ring of Honor. Now we actually can see some stuff from people. We can see the Seth Rollins when he was there. We can see, or Tyler Black. We can see Jay Lethal, or even Bryan Danielson and CM Punk when they all wrestle. We can have that footage. Because I'm sorry, WWE is not really showing a lot of the footage from some of the stuff they bought.
No, yeah.
But they're hiding, they're suppressing it.
The Honor Club has a lot of the old content, but it's starts at like 2011.
Yeah, we don't have stuff from the 90s.
Yeah, so like you said, like no Tyler Black stuff is on there. It started when like one of the first things on there, like Adam Cole's there. I was like, okay, well, it's young Adam Cole, but CM Punk isn't there anymore. Like, I mean, your El Genericos and stuff are there,
but not now. Just think, WWE owns USWA Wrestling.
Yeah,
where the word Jerry Lawler won like 20 30 titles.
Yeah.
I mean, they talk about. I think I said it once. They talk about Ric Flair having the most titles. Nobody compares to Jerry Lawler.
No, yeah, no.
Jerry Lawler's in the hundreds of how many titles he's won. But we have, Lord Humongous, Jerry Lawler, Jeff Jarrett, all the USWA wrestling, where 20 people were in the audience. All that stuff. Well, WWE's not putting it on TV. You can't go back and see that stuff. You look at all the libraries that they bought.
Yeah.
They're not showing that stuff. Well, some people want to go back and look at that. There's some people want to see where this guy started out at.
Yeah. I mean, everybody needs to know who Soul Taker is.
Yeah.
I mean, that was yeah, that was your guy,
Or even Lord Humongous. I mean, that was Sid Vicious.
Yeah.
I mean, remember when they always show the one video of terrorizing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, there's more. I mean, he didn't just wrestle one match. He was there for months.
Yeah.
He wrestled, but we only see the same video over and over and over again.
Maybe even stuff like, say Crazy World, like Sting comes back and like, just not to wrestle obviously, but just like comes back there, like they can start, they may, I don't know if they have the access to the Blade Runners.
Oh yeah, I mean Texas Wrestling. I mean, who owns those tapes?
Yeah, the scene, or even WWE getting that, or AW gets that, and they have a deal with Dana Warrior or whatever, and I was like, hey, can we, do a documentary and we show that stuff,
Because I mean, WCW had like some photos of them.
Yeah,
we're talking about when they were going to feud for a minute.
Yeah, the Warrior.
Yeah.
But I said I like, I'm enjoying it, but like I feel like I'm beating dead horse when it gets in, but like I don't think any company has anything to worry about, because the thing is, if TNA can still be in business, AEW is gonna be fine. Like TNA pays people like $100,000 a year is like their max contract. So like the thing is people that are resigning from there is like, money isn't the end all be all. A lot of people are there because I enjoy the people around me. Because the thing is like, oh, why not go to WWE? You could be like a star. You could do this. Is that guaranteed? Like Moose going to WWE, will he make more money? Yes, but is Moose gonna be Moose?
Right, because we saw like the reports are coming out saying that Vince was not going to put the belt on Cody.
Yeah, well, yeah, seeing that I was like, okay, so is Triple H going to? Because does Triple H not have any ill will because of Cody destroying the throne, and kind of like a FU to Triple H? Like, who knows what that's like?
Oh no, see, if with me, I would play on that. I would see if you can get that video, like Ring of Honor. Hey, look,
please this is AEW. He did add
no. I was just saying, if I was Triple H, I would ask AEW to get that video.
Okay.
And then use that on WWE, and then say, okay, this because Triple H does not wrestle anymore. Well, I got my guy. My guy, Seth Rollins. I know you've already feuded with him, but Seth, you need to go after him again.
See, I don't want that.
No, I'm not talking about like now. Like that's something you can use.
In the future? Yeah.
In the future.
Yeah.
Like, because, Seth is a Triple H guy. Like, you remember he pulled him from the corporation, whatever the fuck it was called at that moment. Like, so that's something they can use. I would trade to say, hey, so if you give us that video, we'll let you have, somebody for a weekend or something. I mean, I would use that. Like,
well, I think that's the one thing is I think everybody's perfect world, all these companies work together.
Yeah.
And especially now, like, Carl Anderson is the New Japan never openweight champion. Yeah, never openweight champion. So I was like, and he's still supposed to wrestle. Yeah, so I was like, oh, all the Forbidden Doors, all like that. Like, that's not a Forbidden Door.
He's already got a contract signed.
Yeah, he was already champion. But like, what do I want a world where you could have, like they said, Wrestle Kingdom, Seth Rollins versus Will Ospreay? Yes, but WWE fans have to understand that WWE isn't going to win all the matches.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you even have a Forbidden Door where it's AEW versus WWE, it's not going to be a 70-30. It's probably going to be 50-50. Yeah. Like, and I even seen a back and forth argument which to me is so dumb. This is the mindset of your WWE stand. So someone's like, I wish AEW would allow Jon Moxley to show up at the Royal Rumble and stuff, and not, just to be like Dean Ambrose, or even be Jon Moxley with the AEW title. That'd be great and stuff. Mm-hmm. And people are like, well, why would he need to go there? It's, it could help out AEW and improve the ratings and stuff like that. I was like, okay, so then then with that, Roman Reigns can show up in AEW, and they're like, no, Roman Reigns doesn't need to do that. Like, well, why does Jon Moxley? Well, I was like, well, Roman Reigns is the face of WWE, but Jon Moxley is the face of AEW. And it kept going back and forth, but it got to the end. It was like, well, like AEW needs it more than WWE does. Like WWE is like the top show, and AEW is they're not a big deal. They're not up to WWE standards. So it was like his whole. It went from okay, kind of making some sense to more of AEW should do this because they need it. WWE doesn't need to have anybody go over because they're above. They're above AEW.
Right. So this is. I get the point. I would look at it as okay. You bring in Moxley in the Royal Rumble as like a Mickey James comes in. Mm-hmm. You're doing it for it's more for the fans. You're bringing a guy in, but hold on. You're bringing the guy in for this. You're bringing. Then you take Roman Reigns to a ring. To AEW. It has no business. There's no history with him there. Now, if you took AJ and took AJ back to TNA for a big event,
yeah.
If you had someone like that, let's say Cody's back in WWE for 2 years. All of a sudden, okay, you bring Moxley in. Then a couple months later, Cody shows back up in AEW.
Yeah,
that's your trend. That would make more sense because Cody has history with AEW. When Roman has no history with AEW. Why would he go there?
But my thing with like someone like Jon Moxley, if he's the champion, he has no business being in. To me, it's a little bit different than the Mickey James thing, in the sense of you have the face of AEW in the Royal Rumble, and he's not going to win. So it's like, okay, that to me it doesn't benefit Jon Moxley or AEW at all,
unless you did a Brock Lesnar thing with Moxley, where Moxley is just eliminated. He's like number 2. Mm-hmm. And he just eliminates. He gets to like 26, and he's eliminated so many people. He's in there, and then Seth and Roman are in there. It's like all 3 of them, and they're fighting each other, and then he gets eliminated. Make the elimination more like it took Seth and Roman to eliminate Moxley.
It would only make sense if it led to something that was at an AEW thing.
Yeah, later on in the future, you plant the seed now.
Yeah, through like a Forbidden Door.
Let it grow, and then all of a sudden, okay, wait a minute. Oh, Seth shows up on AEW and he mentions, hey, remember the Royal Rumble? Yeah. I'm here. Hey, if it makes sense, I'm okay with all that stuff. If it doesn't make sense, then
I think I don't want it to. I wouldn't want anybody. I wouldn't even want Roman Reigns to show up in AEW and get beat by Orange Cassidy. No, I expect. If he showed up in AEW,
it's gonna be Moxley.
Yeah, it's gonna be your Moxley or whoever is big at MJF or something like that. Like whoever the face at the time is, like where it makes sense.
Yeah,
but you had the match to where I'm even okay if it was something where like if they had a Forbidden Door, Jon Moxley versus Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns wins. I'm okay with that because, like, to me, it doesn't really diminish Jon Moxley that much.
Mm-mm.
Especially because of the match that they would probably have. And to me, like...
In the history,
yeah.
I think as Dean Ambrose, he really didn't beat Roman Reigns.
But the thing I look at is, as much as I seem like I'm a AEW fanboy, like I've been a Roman Reigns fan for how long? Like pretty much his
you
debut.
like Roman Reigns,
like
his and debut. I was a Seth guy. Yeah,
and I like Seth, but like Roman Reigns now, like he's the face of wrestling. He's like the biggest name of wrestling. But other than the Bunny, who has ratings win over Roman Reigns, but that's a joke from the past, which I don't remember. If you remember, there's a thing where SmackDown or Rampage was like doing a 2-hour thing, and then SmackDown was gonna do like they did like their last hour was commercial free. So then there was a match of it was Bunny and Penelope Ford versus Ty Conti and Anna Jay, and like Bunny got bloody and stuff like that, but like that segment had a higher rating than Roman Reigns in the ring.
It's about the actual bunny, right?
Like the bunny. That was like Ali.
Yeah, that was supposed to be, okay. Yeah. At first, I thought you said Bad Bunny. I'm like,
no, not Bad Bunny.
Yeah. I'm thinking Bad Bunny on something. Wait a minute, I don't think Bad Bunny was on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Okay, no, the bunny,
but yeah, the bunny that segment had a higher rating than on Roman Reigns on SmackDown in the ring. Like, this is like earlier this year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So they used to say like the whole thing was like acknowledge her and the I forgot what they call like the head of the not head of the table but head of like or whatever, some like almost like a Game of Thronesy type thing, but it was just kind of funny. Like that's what I want to bring. The fans listening will probably know what I'm talking about, but overall, it's stuff like that. Like he is the biggest name in wrestling now. Like, but you can argue that MJF is like right there though, because MJF I think is someone that WWE is salivating to get. Is like one, you can't argue that he's probably not the best on the mic currently.
Oh no, you could argue, but he's in the argument.
Yeah, I would say he's better than the Miz. Like Miz is great, but he's better because the thing like I don't know, but he's also good in the ring and he's also getting in like crazy shape. Because I don't know if you've seen like what he looks like now.
Yeah, I saw a little gimmick saying or something on there on Twitter or his Instagram saying that he's getting WWE ready.
He gained 20 pounds over the summer.
Yeah, which in WWE, I mean, he probably has to wait till take a test because there's no way you're gaining 20 pounds of muscle without using some Mexican supplements in 4 months.
Oh yeah, because Roman Reigns is natural.
Yeah.
Randy Orton's natural. I mean
Brock Lesnar. I mean that's
he's good.
Yeah. He passes the eye test.
Yeah, so does Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
And
Ryback.
Yeah.
Chris Masters.
I mean, everybody knows there's steroids and
in sports, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my thing, but I feel like this whole thing has been about wrestling. But
which is okay.
Yeah, that's what we want what we want to talk about, but yeah, I mean,
let us know in your comments what you like, what you don't like, what we missed, what we got wrong.
Yeah,
because I'm sure we're just rambling. We're not looking anything up.
Yeah, this is us going by memory, and we're fans. I mean, we're not the die-hard where we're dissecting everything, and we can remember stuff in the past, but we're not remembering specific segments and words that we can remember some of that, but we're not.
I'm sure someone's gonna come out and say, "Oh, actually, Dean Ambrose has a winning record over Roman." I'm just thinking of what I remember.
Yeah, and even with me saying like, "Oh, Cody and Seth Rollins," like, well, so and so has feuded with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. They've been feuding off and on for like the last 5 years, and I was like, okay, that's not
a lot of it's just our personal opinion on
I don't like constant rematches. That's the thing I would say. Like WWE's definitely already changed that. You're not getting your, I mean, even though you're getting Drew and Karrion Kross again, but they haven't had a legitimate match yet. They had the strap match. This is what we're gonna build to them actually having a match,
right?
Or actual wrestle match where
no more gimmicks.
Yeah, but I still expect Karrion to win that. Cause I know they want to do Karrion and Roman Reigns. I know the one rumor was like Karrion was going to win one of the titles, but then lose it. Maybe that's who Cody beats instead of Cody beating. Because we're I don't know if you've seen that The Rock said that he's actually the head of the table.
Yeah, I saw that. That's just to get ready for.
I was like, oh,
WrestleMania.
Yep, that's the match is going to happen.
And I hope he does not come out in the Royal Rumble and win it.
I think it's going to be Cody. I think that especially now that they say Cody's ahead of schedule.
Yeah, I would like it something
Cody
like that.
Or Big E.
Surprise everybody.
Big E.
Yeah, surprise Big E shows up.
Yeah, because I don't know if you've seen him on College Game Day carrying someone around. Yeah. It's like, okay, if he's able to do that, where the person's by his neck, and he's able to do this, and like, okay, he's getting a lot better. Yeah. He's got to be getting close to a return,
Or if Bad Bunny or Jake Paul decide to. Logan Paul.
No.
If they join the Royal Rumble and they win it, I mean,
no, please not.
Fans like them.
No, please not.
Millions of Twitter followers and Instagram followers.
Please.
No, yeah.
No.
Hulk Hogan returns to win it.
Conor McGregor.
Cena shows up.
Oh, you would love that.
No, I wouldn't.
Cena get his 17th. He's seen as the greatest wrestler ever, and greatest world champion.
Not even close.
Yeah. But
I digress.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Do you think Roman goes into Raw after WrestleMania with a title?
No.
Okay. So it'll be close. It'll be like in the 900-day range, right? Because he's 760, 770 now or something.
I have a feeling I would not be surprised if he loses it and then gains it back. Like he loses on like a pay-per-view and then wins it like Monday Night Raw right after that.
Okay.
I would not in the next couple months. I would not be surprised. Like it's a fluke. He's wrestling somebody. Someone jumps in. Sami Zayn runs down, holds his legs down, help him lose and make him lose the title.
Yeah.
Something like I'm. That's what I'm. For some reason, I'm picturing something like that where he's gonna get screwed, lose the title, and then demand an immediate rematch and wins it back.
To end but see, that wouldn't make sense only because he's not close to any. Yeah, unless he has. It would only work if he kept it after WrestleMania, and then because like the next, there's Bruno Sammartino at his 2,000 some days, and then was it Hulk Hogan at like 1,000 days, like 1,035, and then him. He would need almost another year. It would have to be like Money in the Bank time. But I'm expecting, but I do it somehow. I expect him to only lose one of the titles.
Yeah, I would say at least one.
Yeah,
he's gonna become. Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, for sure. Unless they have him do double duty and he wrestles Cody Rhodes on Saturday and then The Rock on Sunday, and then he wins one or maybe he loses the Cody one. And then beats The Rock.
Right.
Because, does The Rock really want another, does he want to wrestle more than
just that? I think it's just a one and done.
Yeah. To where he can be, okay, he's the head of the table. Like that. But, want to go ahead and wrap it up?
Yep.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this. This will be the first of many. It's a different format, but, as always, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know any recommendation, anything you want to do. But as always, see you next time. All right, guys. Peace.
Bye.